Hey guys, welcome to chapter 4.
The true love.
This is Ninja Gaiden 2, Master Ninja difficulty. Okay, at the beginning of the chapter you've got some bats. This fight's it's useless. I mean, they don't give you that much essence, and you know, at this point, you know, you've already got like your health restored and everything too, because it's the beginning of the chapter, and I don't know, it's just pointless, and it's just kind of aggravating. And sometimes they spawn in in different positions, and they'll come and attack you. Of course, you know, you can go up and attack them, but the bats will just eat away at your health like really quick. So at the beginning of this chapter, I had used. Well, in the previous chapter, I used every healing item that I had, but I was able to maintain my my lives of 1,000 gods, so that was always good, because that's one item that you can't buy from Marimasa. And I'm trying to save every one of them that I possibly can and use them as a last resort on some of the harder chapters. This chapter is not too difficult besides like the beginning of it, and you have a long gauntlet of enemies that you have to fight before you can get to a save area. There's 4 ice ninjas here. You know, same strategies apply. Just take them out. ETs, UTs, guillotine throws, just whatever you desire. Okay, now this next fight is probably one of the toughest ones. Like, you literally have ice ninjas, archers, and they're just pains in the butt. And what I do is I just spam the crap out of wind blades, Nimpo, and you know, I try to get some ETs and UTs up. I try to do just a regular UT on these guys instead of an ultimate. The reason why I do that for is because of that the ending attack, the fire attack. It usually takes out a lot of enemies, and they're always grouped up together. So I always try to do that, but you know, it's one of those you have to connect with an enemy before it'll actually start doing the rest of the animation. So it's kind of risky. But yeah, this fight took me a while to actually get through. It was really difficult. The reason why I used all of my my Ninpos on that fight, well, mainly it was hard, but there's a chest up here that contains red essence that will fill up the rest of your Ninpo, so feel free to use it. And of course, you got more ice ninjas. These things are just, I don't know, they're like vermin. You can't get rid of them. But at this point, you know, you should know, you know, the tactics to take them out, and I'm doing a very poor job of that. I'm still getting tagged and everything. It's just something that goes along with the game, you know. I think I was playing this late at night too, so I was getting kind of sloppy. Okay, after that fight's done, then you got some Vangelfs, and I should have mentioned earlier, be sure to have a full set of arrows when you're coming up through here, because you can take and pick the Vangelfs off. There's a hiding spot here, and sometimes they'll get stuck, so you'll see that later on in the video. And be careful when you're right here in this area, because those purple Vangelfs will sneak up behind you. Like, you'll be standing, you know, facing forward, and then, you know, nothing will happen, and then all of a sudden one of them will sneak up behind you. So they quit spawning, and I was preparing for it, because I knew that you know, if I face forward towards that train car, then one of them would spawn behind me, and sure enough, it usually does. But yeah, you can pick them off with the arrows right there with the UTs. And I was being very cautious because I knew that one of them was going to come up behind me. They always do. I think there was like maybe 2 or 3 of them. See? Yeah. I think they spawn on the other side of the wall, on the right side of the wall from where I'm at. And that guy just jumped completely over the car. Like, that was the weirdest thing ever. And I was like, oh man, I'm in trouble now. Like those golden Van Gelfs, man, you gotta watch out for them. Them dudes are, they'll kill you. Like, they'll take every bit of your health off in just one go. So, and I positioned myself to where I could actually see if one of them was coming, and I saw one, so I knew that he was coming after me. So I was preparing myself. I was doing auto aim, and it was working pretty good with that. And, at this point, I didn't see any more. The purple ones spawning behind me, to the side of me. So just inched forward a little bit, and as you can see, they're stuck. So I don't know what causes them to do that. It always happens here. And that guy right there too. He don't know what to do. So that's why, you know, it's important to have a full set of arrows before you come to this fight. I should have mentioned that before, but you can see in the video I was buying arrows. So I run back here and I pick up the, I open the chest. It's got the red essence in it. I did look around in this room just to make sure that there wasn't any other chests. I wasn't actually sure about it. And here's your first save area. So after you make it through all of that, then you can breathe a sigh of relief. Now you'll have some ice ninjas and some mages when you get to the top of the steps. I did an edit there because I did die. You know, just like in the other game, or in the other chapters, I cut out all of my deaths because no one wants to see that. Because otherwise, the video would be probably 2 and 3 hours long. So, because I'm pretty sure chapter 2 took me, just to make it halfway through, it took me probably the whole night, and then I had to come back to it because it was just getting so crazy. But so far everything has been moving really smoothly. I completed chapter 5 last night, and you know, I'm working on editing it. So chapter 6, yeah, it shouldn't be too bad. I did pretty good on that fight, so I'm going through here and picking up the Herb of Spiritual Life. There's 2 of them in this area, and these are dynamic chests, so if you have maxed out health and maxed out herbs, then you'll get what's equivalent to it, which I think is maybe, is it 5? Yeah, 5,000, 5 or 6,000 anyways. I would have had this video uploaded a little sooner than what I did, but I've been having hard drive issues, and it's just been really aggravating. And also too, like in some of my video clips that I did for chapter 4, like the audio was out of sync, so I had to go back and fix all that too. And plus, I did the Test of Valor in this one, the second Test of Valor, because it's like the easiest one, so I went ahead and done that one. The only other Test of Valor I think that I'll probably try is Chapter 10, because it's really easy too. I'm not going to waste all of my items on some of these other ones that are like extremely difficult, and most of them are like Jewels of Demon Seal, and the only Nympho that I ever really use is the Wind Blades and the Inferno, so I should have enough to max out both of those without actually having to do any of the other Test of Valors, because like I said before, like it's like, for instance, one of them, I think Test of Valor 4, it's in chapter 5, I'm thinking either 5 or 6, but anyways, like it's probably one of the hardest ones, and you'll end up using like all your healing items plus all your lives of 1,000 gods and all that just to get a reward for lives of 1,000 gods. So you'll probably end up using 3 and get 1. It's just not, I don't know, to me it's not worth it, so I'm not going to be doing any of those. Yeah, I'm sorry I'm not doing too much commentary on like the actual fights, because it's more of the same enemies and all that, so I mean all the strategies still apply. Now, coming up on this next part, you'll have dogs. They're not the armored dogs we fought in chapter 2. But, it's still the same thing. Do on landing 360 wise. Like, you don't necessarily have to charge to an ET. A couple of them got stuck, so as you can see there, that wasn't an E-tier UC, but the winger has really good range when dealing with these enemies. Yeah, there are some frame rate drops, but that's not due to the video editing part of the game. Sometimes it just tries to lag a little bit. I don't know if it's just where it's got so much stuff going on with it, or what the deal is. That was always one thing I disliked about it. So I see that these dogs are stuck, so I'm just going to take advantage of that and just pick them off with the arrow UTs. They almost always get stuck, at least one or two of them back there in the back, like where I was shooting those ones at. So I think that's all the dogs, and I'm pretty sure I go back and save it. Yeah, and yet again I did speed up where I backtrack to a save area, because I do a lot of backtracking. And you have more mages in this area. you'll have some ice ninjas in this area, just more of the same techniques, just deal with them however you can. I like this area though because there's a lot of walls so you can get off your guillotine throws a lot easier. I love doing that move with the jump and the Xena drop. It's jump XXY. It works really good on those guys, and some of the red water demons too. Coming up in chapter 5, it works really good on those. But those guys are really tough. You have to. Well, I think most enemies you have to get at least 2 Xena drops to kill them. I was looking around here because there is a crystal skull in this area, and I'm missing one, but I think I've already got it in this area, so I'm still looking out for it. I'm not sure exactly where I'd missed one at. I had saved it here. I didn't die in this part, but what happened is like I've got full Nimpo, and there is a chest behind those exploding barrels, and I went ahead and picked it up, and I was like, oh, why did you do that for? You know, you could have saved that and came back for them. You know, and I don't even think I did that. So like I just edited that clip for nothing. You know, because I don't think that I even came back and got those. Like, I was like, oh man, I completely forgot about that. Yeah, these guys were giving me a little bit of trouble. It's like, sometimes when I'm fighting these guys, like, I can kill them pretty good, and then other times they just absolutely destroy me because the fight can get out of hand, like, really quick. So like that, he just he was dodging that like crazy, and I managed to get him with the last hit. But yeah, I didn't get that chest because I was like, I'm gonna save it for later, and then I ended up didn't use it. In this next area, you'll get another Jewel of Demon Seal. I always put that one on the Inferno. I use my Dragon Sword to Flying Swallow over to the next area. I think I spawned the next fight, which has the flying demons and the purple Vangelfs. Yeah, there is a Talisman of Rebirth on there. And be sure to save it. Don't use it. Because if you do the Test of Valor, that's one of the rewards, Talisman of Rebirth. And since you can only hold one at a time, it'll be like a dynamic chest, and it'll give you the yellow essence for it if you already have one. And there are 50,000 yellow essence in the shop, so that gives you a lot of yellow essence if you hang on to it. And I recommend doing the Test of Valor because it is like super easy. I think there's 4 of these guys, and for some reason it just kept giving me red essence, like even when I had, you know, maxed out. It never does that. You know, I was like, well, you know, thanks a lot, you know. Yeah, you can just sit and pick these guys off. I think I get hit a few times though. Yeah, this game has kind of poor hit detection when it comes to shooting the arrows, because sometimes you'll be aiming at something and then like the arrow will go like maybe slightly below him or maybe to the right. See, you know, that was a direct hit. It didn't even count it. Okay, yeah, no, I know I missed that one, but I can't remember how many of these guys spawn. I didn't speed this part up because I was kind of wanting to give anyone an idea of like where they spawn at from here. Here, I'm just kind of scanning the area to make sure that they're all dead, and I think one of them despawned because I think he was behind that truck. So I mean, sometimes that happens. You know, there's just there's nothing you can do about it. I think I got lucky there. I think there's bats that can spawn in that chest. If you're not sure, always equip the lunar, and right when you open it, start spamming like the wide attack. Just keep pushing Y. Because like I said before, the bats, like the big bats, they'll just they'll destroy you hardcore. And I started to buy some incinerator shurikens, and I was like, wait a minute, there's a dead body that has them. So, and I'm thinking that after you either buy something from Mayor Monster or go into the shop or open that chest, got the live of the gods, then it'll spawn this next fight with the Vangelfs. You know, it's just more of the same. Charge E2s and E2s up, and they'll go down pretty quickly. Now these enemies are not too bad, but you know, if you let your guard down, then you know, or get too cocky, like I have a few times, you know, they'll kill you. Just don't want to ever underestimate your enemies on here, no matter how small or weak you may think they are. Like for instance, I think it's in chapter 6. You have those bone scorpions, you know, and they're kind of slow. I mean, there's usually a lot of them in numbers, but like if they group up on you and get a hold of you, you're dead. They'll just chip away at your health like really quick, you know, like the ghost fish do. The ghost fish are not as bad as what they were in Ninja Gaiden Black, though. Oh man. Those things will destroy you. I sped this part up because I'm going back to the save area. I mean, that's something I can't stress enough. Like, if you do good on a fight, always go back and save it. Even if you have to go, you know, all the way back to the beginning. If there's a save area there, you know, it just... Because, I mean, you'll thank yourself later for it, because if something happens and you die, and, like, it can happen in a blink of an eye, you know, you'll have to do all those fights that you previously did over again, and, you know, you're like, wow, I wish I would have saved. But, it's happened to me, you know. I was like, okay, yeah, I've I've got full health. I'll be able to do this next part. It won't be that bad, and then I end up dying, and then have to do everything over again. Okay, this fight here, you have golden Vangelfs, purple Vangelfs. It's basically the same fight as it was at the end of chapter 3 before the boss fight. I just take and throw incinerator shurikens, try to delim them. One will delim them, two will kill them, even the golden ones, and then you start charging ETs and UTs up with the essence that's out on the ground and stuff. Okay, I think they're all dead now. Restock up on arrows, and the next fight that's coming up whenever you climb up the ladder, you'll have those flying demons again. And what you can do is, you can stay up there and fight them, but it's kind of in a really tight spot. So what I do is I spawn the fight and then jump down. I think you might be able to skip the fight completely, because I know once they spawn on the left side, then they'll also spawn on the right side too. So yeah, I didn't speed this part up. I guess I probably should, because it's it's the same thing with these flying demons. You just jump and shoot your arrows, and just let the game will do auto aim for you, and it's for the most part the arrows will connect with them. Enemies like this is boring to me, because I don't really know what you would say. I guess there could be some skill involved with these things, but like for the most part, you have to use your arrows or some type of projectile thing to hit them, because they don't fly low enough on the ground in order for you to hit them with your actual melee weapons or anything like that. I really hate fighting these guys. It's just really time consuming, in my opinion. I don't know. It's just really aggravating. I'm pretty sure I killed all of them on the left side. I just completely skipped them on the other one. To tell you the truth, if I would have actually known that I could have done that with the other ones, that's probably what I would have done. Because I just grabbed the chest and ran. I'm not exactly sure what I was doing here. Okay, yeah, that's what I did. I grabbed the incinerator shurikens. I couldn't remember what I did. I do believe there's a crystal skull too on that ledge to the right of the ladder, and we won't talk about that epic fail that I just did where I missed the ledge. Like I was saying before, it was really late at night and I was really tired, and being tired and trying to play this game is not a good combination. Like, if you go to the left, there's a chest there that will either have, I think it's a grains, spiritual life, or if you're maxed out on your grains and you have full health, then it'll give you, you know, the yellow essence. It's equivalent to it in the shop, which is 7,000. Okay, now this next fight, if you choose to skip these demons, which I did, you'll fight the mini boss, and that's the giant. I call it a troll, but I don't know what the technical term is for it. But this guy is like really easy. All you have to do is just get in between his feet and wait till he slams, and then do X, X, Y with the winger. Yeah, all you have to do is just block, because you won't take any damage for it. But you definitely want to stay in between his feet, because he's got this roar thing that he does, and it'll kill you instantly. It's a one-hit death. So, and then I got him in OT status, so I went and got an obliteration technique for him. Now you will notice an edit in this part, maybe with a karma. What happened was I killed the guy, and of course these golden Vangelfs destroyed me, so I had to fight the troll again. And when I fought the troll for the second time, like I didn't get like a flawless on him, so I went ahead and used that one to demonstrate the first time I fought him. So that's why the karma score may look a little different than what it did whenever I was fighting the troll. These guys are pretty aggressive on this part. What I try to do is with these guys, just throw incendiary shurikens at them. Use my Inferno Nippo. These guys are really evasive. So just look how aggressive he's being, and I decided just to keep on going, and I don't think I used any healing items. But yeah, that pounce would have killed me. You know, even when these guys, you're able to OT them, they're still really difficult, because like I was saying, they're so evasive, and it's hard to actually connect with an OT. Now see here, I knew that there was going to be some ice ninjas coming behind me, but I didn't know exactly where I would be able to trigger on that. So just threw a incendiary shuriken at them, just give them some payback. This room's kind of special because it has a special item in it. If any of you guys played like Ninja Gaiden or Ninja Gaiden Black, there was an Xbox symbol that you could go to, and it would restore your health, and there's one in this area too. So I use full advantage of this. Like, anytime I'm low on health, I'll just backtrack here, and it restores my health. Now, it doesn't restore your Nimpos, though. And you also have a, I guess like a display case that has incinerator shuriken, so you can, have, replenish them anytime you want. And there's also a new weapon, it's the dual katanas. It's in the display case too. Yeah, this fight's not too bad. It's basically the same thing. There's, I guess, just recycle fights from some of the previous ones. You got mages and ice ninjas. There's the special symbol thing. But yeah, you can use that to, take advantage of that. Use that as many times as you want. I'm going to save it, and then I think I start the trial. If you picked up the Rod of Trials from that fight in Chapter 2, then you can participate in these. I did speed this up because it's just the same stuff that I'm doing over and over. I'm just I'm throwing incinerator shurikens at these zombies. I call them chainsaw zombies. I don't know what the official name is for them. But what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to delimb them, but take away their cannonball, or their cannons, because those are the most deadly ones. And I don't think you can actually aim for them. I guess it's just random, but I try to do that. And then you got the bone scorpions that'll follow you. And like I said before, these guys are slow. You shouldn't have to worry about them too much, but don't underestimate them. And if you held on to the Talisman of Rebirth, when you open up the chest, it will give you 50,000 yellow essence, which is huge. I mean, that's like a level 3 upgrade on your weapon. So that's why I always said don't use it until after you complete this. I mean, this is a really easy trial too. I think I maybe used a couple healing items. I'm not exactly sure on this, but this is like the easiest one to do, so I would always recommend doing it. Plus you get yellow essence for doing the UTs on these guys. So at this point now I'm just killing the bone scorpions. You just have to run away from them, just do your charge. I think I get attacked by one of them, and I think it was right in there in that little area. And I knew that if I got hit one more time, I was probably dead. So yeah, these test devours are optional. You don't have to do them for the rest. It's just they have some good rewards for them, but some of the harder ones, you'll end up using all your resources on them, and to me it's just not worth it. I mean, I'm sure there are some people that can do it with using little to no healing items, but like for me, I just couldn't do it, and they're frustrating, and some of them will take you probably about, I don't know, 45 minutes to an hour to complete. And if you're all the way at the very end of it and something happens and you die, then that's all that time lost. So I just choose not to do any of those. The rewards are not that not that special. But there, I got my yellow essence for completing that, and replenish that, and I'm going on to the next area. And Yeah, this next clip, I don't know if you can notice it or not. I tried to fix it the best I possibly could, but my audio was off a little bit. It looks like I got it fixed pretty good, but I don't know if it was my capture device that I was using wasn't working properly, or my PC was having issues. So we're halfway through this chapter, and it's just it's not too bad. If you can make it past the first part of the beginning, then it's not that difficult, you know, because it's nothing really different, you know, as far as enemies go, besides, you know, the giant troll and everything, but he's super easy. Yeah, you want to be careful about being in like this area here, because all the mages together and everything can prove to be difficult with the ice ninjas coming on you. When you see them do that little chant thing and all that, you want to get to them as quickly as possible. Otherwise, you're going to have to start dodging, because they'll do that the flames that come out of the ground. It is a little easier to do the jump and Azuna drop with the lunar staff. The jump XXY. See, it's been giving me a lot of red essence when I don't need it. I mean, I guess this is the way it goes, you know. If I was needing it, then I would never see any at all. I knew when I saw that save statue, like the red or go away from it, I knew that there was another enemy close by. So that gave me an indication that something's probably sneaking up behind me. Yeah, that item, the Xbox item, that's the only chapter that it's in, is in chapter 4, so. And over here to the right is a Devilway mushroom from that dead body. I have the hardest time whenever I'm doing like the wall run and stuff. Like, you gotta have the camera at a certain angle before you can actually start like running all the way around them. Okay. Sorry about that. Apparently it's telling me that I have unwanted software or something like that. I don't know. So I apologize for that. Yeah, my PC, I don't know, it acts up sometimes. Like, I know whenever I turned on the PC earlier, like it was saying, it wasn't detecting my second hard drive. That's where I got all my footage saved from. And I was like, oh no, really? I was like, it ends here? Really? But I managed to get it back, so I don't know. But you got some of the purple Vangelfs here in this area. Just not really much to talk about, you know. It's just the same stuff. And then after you defeat these guys, then you know there's more of them up on top on the second level with more of the flying demons. There's a chest over on the left side that has an herb of spiritual life, and you know it's a dynamic chest. So if you've got all your health maxed out and all your herbs maxed out, then it'll be I think it's 5,000. I can't remember how much they cost in the shop. But what you want to try to do, I guess, to get better at the game is try to refrain from using any healing items. You know, just take a fight like, you know, hey, I'm going to do this without using any healing items, and I mean, you'll eventually get better to where you can do that. I mean, there is times where I have used healing items because I didn't want to have to redo the fights over again in case I screwed up, but I guess you just want to, you know, try to go into it with the mentality that, you know, you're going to do it regardless. You know, you're not going to let them completely kill you out. So, and I mean, it takes practice. You know, I'm still learning new stuff about the game, but it's really rewarding whenever you do really good. Because like I said, I've cut all of my deaths out. Like some of these videos, you know, took me about 3 and 4 hours just to make it through one chapter. You know, because I'm constantly having to replay, you know, one little section over and over again until I can get it right. So I just spawn the fight and then come back down here. And I think I actually hit him with that, but it didn't kill him. I apologize too if you hear like a humming noise. I forgot to turn my ceiling fan off, so I don't know if it'll actually pick up or not. It's really hot here in my game room, so. I thought that I would be able to pick some of these guys off with some arrow UTs, but it didn't work out that way. So it's just more of the same, just blind fire when I can and just pick them off. So, but everything is basically about the same until I get up to the boss. So I'll probably cut the commentary short for now, and then I'll be back whenever the boss fight starts. Okay, I'm back. We're getting close to the end of this chapter. Most of the fights that led up to this were more of the same thing, so that's why I didn't actually really do any more commentating on it. Now you do have some of these ice ninjas that like to stay up there on those beams, so you got some ice or incendiary shurikens you can throw them. There was a point where I was actually kind of looking around on those beams because there is a crystal skull and somewhere. I'm pretty sure that I've already got it up here though, but I'm still kind of looking around, so if you see me kind of pause right there, that's what I'm doing. And this next area you can fight these guys if you want, but I'd say, you know, screw it, because more than likely you won't have enough projectiles to kill them all. Because I've tried before, you know, had maxed out arrows and incendiary shurikens, and it just, you know, they were still spawning. So I don't know. I max out my my dual katanas to 3 because I use them when I'm fighting the boss. His name is Alexa. He is one of the 4 greater fiends. He's the first one you fight. He can be a pain in the butt too, so if you want, what I always do is I always equip the Talisman of Rebirth, and what that does is whenever the enemy or the boss deals your final blow to kill you, then you know that'll the talisman will activate and it will restore your health and your Nimpo too. So the reason why I say use it now is because you get one in chapter 5, but it's off of a dead body, so you know, it's not dynamic, so you won't get like the money equivalent for it. So what I always say is use it on the boss, and then you know you pick the one up in chapter 5, because otherwise, you know, you'll lose it in chapter 5 because you can only hold one at a time. Here, I guess I was getting a little confused about how to get back to the save area. I was like, okay, yeah, like if you see like those spots, and then like it just happened. Those were some of the clips that I had to fix the audio in, and it just wasn't syncing up right with the actual video, so there was like I guess a little space in between the video part. So I apologize about that. Hopefully chapter 5 and the rest of them won't actually be like that. So you do have one more fight for the actual boss. These IS ninjas. I think there are a total of 4 of them. And I do make an edit in the video right when I'm fighting Alexa. I don't know if you noticed or not, but my health is pretty low, and I decided to go ahead and try to fight Alexa that way, but it just wasn't working out for me, and I ended up using my Talisman of Rebirth way too early, and I wanted to try to use the least amount of healing items on this guy as I possibly could. So what I had to do was after I went to Alexa the first time and realized that I was having a hard time with him, I had restarted the game, because once you die at a boss, you know, it's like a checkpoint, you'll go right back to him. I quit the game out, went back to the main menu, and I went back and restored my health with that Xbox item. The way I'd have more health and a better chance with Alexa. So now you can see I've got almost full health, and then I had to re-equip my talisman. Now I use the dual katanas with this guy. One of the attacks that I always use is X, and then hold Y for maybe about a second. You just want to dodge his attacks, and his spin attack there. If you do a 360Y with the dual katanas, it'll give you iframes. And you want to try to stay close to him if you possibly can, because if you're further away from him, then he starts throwing his projectiles at you. As you can see here, I'm just dodging his combos, and then doing following up with the X and Y move. You can also push the X button 4 times. That also works pretty good too. It stuns him. Yeah, you want to try to dash away whenever he's getting ready to do his charge, because he almost always connects with you. I still haven't been able to play him that good. Okay, like when you get him down probably 3/4 of the way, then he goes into what I call berserk mode. And it's when he dashes, he does more dashes, and you know, just his attacks are overall stronger and he's quicker. So that is the end of chapter 4. Overall, it wasn't too difficult. Just the beginning of the chapter was kind of tough, but thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in chapter 5.